Pip Shepherd, one of the last of the Bow Street runners, the early police force, is being disbanded, but just as they're preparing to hand over their truncheons to the peelers, for Pip there's still plenty of work to be done when a man goes missing and a lord is found murdered in the thick of one of those notorious smogs.
Gentlemen, it is with great sadness I have to inform you that after 10 years in competition with the new Metropolitan Police, we, the Bow Street Runners, will cease to exist. In those 10 years, from 1829, we have upheld the beliefs of our founder, Sir Henry Fielding, and can be proud of what we have achieved in his name. Those of you with cases outstanding will be assigned to a police inspector and must work alongside him until such cases are resolved.
Catch me working with a peeler.
Got her hands tied, Pip. Hands tied.
So, finally, I ask you to raise your glasses for the last time to the Bow Street Runners.
The Bow Street Runners!
That's it then, Toby. It's all I ever wanted. To be a runner. It's all gone now.
Something to turn up, Pip. I'll see you in the Dieppe, eh? About 8.
London Particulars by John Peacock, with Todd Carty as Pip Shepherd and Charles Simpson as Thomas Tedman. Play 1, The Last of the Bow Street Runners.
Sir? Please, sir?
Can I help you, miss?
I'm looking for the Hotel Dieppe, sir. 7 dials. But with all this smoke,
Smoke? This isn't smoke, miss. This is the London Particular.
I've never heard of such a thing.
A fog, miss.
Oh, indeed.
Hotel Dieppe, eh? It's where I'm going myself. I'll get you there, don't you worry. Pip's the name. Pip Shepherd.
I'll take those, Pip. You join Toby.
Yeah, but they're very heavy.
He's in the bar. No buts. I can manage. You know, I don't allow young men in young ladies' rooms, however heavy the bags.
Yes, Mrs. Vermelo.
Thank you, Mr. Shepherd.
Good night, miss.
Mr. Vermelo's not too bright at the moment. Else he'd take 'em up himself, wouldn't you, Robert? Lucky the room's still free. I could let your bed 10 times over tonight, what with the fog and all. Catherine, isn't it?
Yes, Catherine Hockley.
That's right. Oh, I'll put you in Michael's old room. Small, but quiet. He didn't say how long you'd be staying. Yeah.
But Michael is here, isn't he?
Why, no, dear. He's gone. He said his young lady was coming, paid me a week's rent for you on account, and then off he went.
Where to?
Why, prospects. Didn't he tell you? Got you both fixed up in service somewhere.
He said a grand house, but nothing else. Just sent me my fare and asked me to join him.
Well, you speak to Mr. Vermelo tomorrow when he's feeling better. He knows more than me.
I can't believe it, Tobe. 14 years now I've been at Bow Street. Night watch, day watch, runner. And what does it mean? All that loyal service? Bleeding nothing.
Well, what are you going to do? Join them?
See me in a uniform, can you?
Blimey.
What? Give me a day? No private commissions? I think we was born yesterday.
You could always sign aboard a merchantman, see the world.
I wanted to once, didn't I? Too late now. I've got a kiddie to think of.
What should we do then?
Get more ale. Get swacked. That's what I say.
Hey, Pip.
What?
See her over there just leaving? She likes to look at you.
I like the look of her.
Not as nice as the young lady you was with earlier, mind.
Maybe. But that young lady's spoken for.
very fond of your young man, Mrs. Vermelo and me. I paid the day watch a guinea to follow the carter who collected his things. To keep an eye out for him, you understand.
So you know the grand house where we're to have employ?
I know nothing of a grand house, Catherine. He must have lied to you as he lied to me.
He loves me.
Would it not be wiser for a young woman like yourself to go home to your family?
I've come all the way from Whitby. He sent for me.
Feelings can change so quickly when you're young, you know.
If I showed you the letters he wrote me...
Well, all young men write such letters. Even I, to Mrs. Vermelo. Once.
Where is he? Please tell me.
The carter went back across the river. Bermondsey way. Folly Ditch on Jacob's Island.
Is that an island in the Thames?
No, it's a lick of land lower than the river. At high tide, the sewers spill into the alleyways and ditches. No man would live there by choice. The cart went to the last house on Folly Ditch, furthest from the market.
The last house.
Doors open! Oh, doors always open here, darling. What is it you want?
I'm looking for someone.
Who is it, Ethel? Just a minute, dear. Young girl, looking for help.
Pretty, is she?
Yeah.
Let's have her in then.
Righto. You can come on through. Meet Dolly.
Thank you.
This is Dolly Jenks. She's the one to help you.
And don't forget, Ethel, you're taking Belle to Paddy's Goose tonight. See she's ready.
Yes, Dolly.
Come in, my dear. What lovely hair. Close the curtain and sit down.
Thank you.
Oh, don't mind all those dresses. I eyes them out, you see, to my girls. You can shift that green one. Real silk, that is. Paris, so I believe. As new as makes no difference. Have a drop of something short. I like to be jolly myself and see others so. Gin, my dear?
No, thank you, Mrs. Jenks.
Oh, too early, is it? Call me Dolly. Well, Pet, I'm glad you've come to my shop. Well, my house. So, what can I do for you?
I'm looking for a friend of mine.
Oh, I see.
A gentleman.
Oh.
Michael is his name. Michael Tovey.
Ah.
I was told he lodges here.
And who was it who's told you that? No matter. I understand about loyalty and promises and such. Friend of his, are you?
Yes.
A friend of his is a friend of mine.
May I see him, please?
Well, it's not so easy as that. You see, Pet, he don't exactly lodge with me. He just keeps a few things here.
Oh, I see.
Pays me, of course, regular. But I don't charge him much. It's only a small room. Couldn't hardly get a bed in there, not if you tried. Ever hard. Still, that's not to say we can't find him, is it?
You know where he lives, then?
Oh, I didn't say that.
You've no business telling her. Sending a young girl to Folly Ditch. Now go and get Pip. He's in the bar.
She might not have gone there.
Have you never been in love?
Well,
and the fog's coming down. Go on, get Pip. If Michael had wanted her to go there, he'd have told her himself.
Here's the room, if you can call it such. In he goes. Maybe he'll be here tomorrow, maybe tonight. You never can tell with your Michael. He brought that chest baleful yesterday. Maybe you'll know about it.
No, I don't.
Not for me to ask what's in it. Well, there's many as will be tempted to call a locksmith. All these things there is. See, letters and all.
This is the one I sent him. Not opened even.
There's something in this one. A locket with hair. This yours as well, eh?
What?
This gold locket has an hair in it.
No, Dolly. That isn't mine.
Pretty, though. His mother's, maybe. Oh, cats and dogs. Listen to it. Let's go back to the fire pit.
Let me stay here a minute longer.
Oh, in love, are you? These only things, dear. Only things.
But they're his.
Not him, though, are they? Why don't you stay with me tonight, Katie?
No, thank you.
Dolly?
What is it, Ethel?
There's a gentleman at the door looking for the young lady. Catherine, he says.
You never said you had a young man coming here.
But I haven't.
Show him in the parlour, Ethel. Well, I'm sure it's been a great pleasure for me to meet you and Miss Catherine. Ethel!
And when you next hear from Mr. Toby, you'll let Miss Ockley know.
I'll tell him as how you have made inquiries.
Did you call, Dolly?
See our guests out, will you, dear?
Yes, all right. Come along.
God bless you, pet. I'm sure he'll be in touch with you soon.
Goodbye, Dolly. Thank you.
Mrs. Jenks.
Lovely hair.
Hold up a minute. There's something I have to say.
What is it, Ethel?
The gent you're looking for, Mr. Toby. The valet to Lord William Beverley's who you want. That's all I'm going to say. Corner of Suffolk Street.
Thank you, Ethel.
Oh, God bless you, sir. Miss Ethel, I've told you nothing.
What you been doing?
Nothing, Dolly.
You don't get wet standing in the hallway doing nothing.
I was pointing out where the young gentleman could find an horse cab.
I hope that's all you've pointed out.
Yes, Dolly, on my life.
What'd you get out of him? Well, as you're wet already, you can take tuppence of it and fetch me a street stationer. I want a letter written. Urgent.
Here you are. Hot pot. Now, this is not an everyday occurrence. I just can't stand to see good food go to waste.
Thank you.
Oh, Mrs. Vermelo. Michael didn't pick up the chest the day before yesterday, did he?
No, dear. Oh, I've not seen him these 2 weeks. Only the carter. Now, eat up. I've got to go through to the public. Robert's on his own. People will buy him drinks. And after the first, he don't have the wit to say no.
Flipping starving.
I don't feel hungry.
You'll have to eat.
Pip, Mr. Vermelo said you took commissions.
As a runner, I did. It was part of the job. Can't do that no longer, though. Not official, like. What's that?
3 guineas. He says it should be enough for 3 days.
Eh?
It's all I have. Will you please help me find Michael? You can take for what you did today.
I did what I did because I wanted to help. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll go up Suffolk Street. And I don't want none of your guineas. We're friends, ain't we?
Yes.
Bella's special. Nothing short of silk I'm putting her in. So you keep track of her, Ethel. This dress costs 10 guineas.
Yes, Dolly.
She clears off with it, I'll swing for you.
Have I lost one gown yet?
Shepherd's Market. You keep one step behind her all the while. You can change at Paddy's Goose. This is the price of a room for her. I don't want the shit folly ditch on her or her dress.
No, Dolly.
And if she gets set up with a dandy gent, you won't lack for a little extra.
Are you married, Pip?
I was. My Mary. She died giving birth to our boy.
I'm sorry.
My old mum looks after Alfred. That's the boy. He's 3 now. Down in Kent. Do anything for him, I would. I see him most weekends. Be able to see a lot more of him now.
So you're on your own?
I got Alfred.
Oh, you're going to look lovely, Belle. Go on and get changed, and I'll wait here for you. Ta, Ethel. You look a proper lady in that.
Do you think?
I don't think I know about such things. I was once the swellest woman about town. Come down awful, I know, and yet it ain't awful, really. Fact is, life is sweet. as sweet to the ore as it is to the emperors. And as sweet to me as it is to you for all your beauty. Go on, then.
Won't be long, Ethel.
Drop something. Get the cold out. Who's that? Oh, it's you. Tony didn't say he was going to be here. Just warming the cockles. Why don't you say something? Hey, what's up? What are you looking at me like that for? Stay away. I'll get Belle. Is it Belle you want? Here, whatever you want, you can have it. I didn't say nothing. You won't need a knife. Why don't you? Is it Belle you want? Is it Belle?
Ethel, I'm nearly ready. Will you come through? I need you to help me. Ethel? Ethel? Oh my God. Ethel?
So what did you find out?
The valet's not there, but I spoke to the housekeeper, Mrs. Dutton. The valet is Peter Ablath. He's away with his lordship and won't be back until late tonight. I said I'd call again tomorrow. Is that right, Pip?
Indeed it is. Did you mention Michael?
No.
Well, I've had a word with the watchers. They're going to keep an eye on the house and look out for him. 24 hours should tell us whether he's there or not. Seems your Mr. Ablath walks his lordship's dog 6:30 every morning. So we can catch him then if we need.
Thank you.
So where are you going now?
Back to the Dieppe, in case he calls for me.
Oh, there's nothing worse than waiting for someone who might not turn up. Makes for an awful long day. You haven't seen Hyde Park, have you?
I've seen nowhere.
Then that's where we'll go. You can see all the toffs riding by and tell me all about yourself, eh? And Michael.
I don't think it's...
And if he turns up at a Dieppe, you don't think Mrs. Vermillow will let him get away, do you? Blimey. She'll nail him to the floor first.
Known him all my life. Childhood sweethearts we were. He went to sea when he was 16 and come back 4 years later. But there's not much in Whitby apart from the fishing. Weren't exciting enough for him.
So he came to London?
I was to join him later. That was 3 years since.
But you didn't?
No, he went to sea again. And he came back 2 months ago. Wrote for me to join him. And here I am. It wouldn't matter what he did. There's never been anyone else, you see.
Why do you say it wouldn't matter what he did?
Because it wouldn't.
What might he do?
He's a good man.
I didn't say he wasn't.
I'm just telling you. He is. Please, can we go back to the hotel?
If that's what you want. You're not telling me a fib, are you, Sam? No one passing you guineas for a blind eye?
What, me, Master Pip? Oh, honest as a day's long. Swear it on me honour. Here since 10 o'clock last night I was. Nobody passed into the house except the valet, and he came out round 10:30. He fetched some ale for the rear house and went back in through the basement. Whole house was quiet by midnight. Oh, chucking it down and all. £5 a night. Oh, dear me. Wicked, innit? Blooming wicked. Oh, well, that's very kind of you, Gov. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Sam.
Oh, they weren't saw nobody neither, except the occupants of the house. Nobody like you gave a description of them.
So Michael's not living there?
Doesn't look like it. What time are you meeting Ablath?
10 o'clock.
What the hell? Toby?
Am I glad you're here? Just come from the station. Got our bullshit at Suffolk Street, number 14. Urgent.
Suffolk Street? I was only there a couple of hours ago. What's happened?
Dunno. Something big, though. Place is crawling with peelers.
Catherine, you better wait here until I get back.
You won't say anything about Michael, will you, Pip?
Not if you don't want.
You promise?
I promise.
Peelers are upstairs, Pip.
Yes, sir.
Inspector's asked to see you. D Division. But I wanted a quiet word first.
Well, what's happened?
You've been working on a case.
Well, not exactly.
Something to do with a Michael Tovey?
Yes, but...
I told you. Now, all outstanding cases had to be worked on with the new police.
It's not like that.
Well, commission, is it?
No, sir.
What then?
Something personal, sir. Just helping.
The Metropolitan don't see it in the same way. Now, you're going to have to cooperate with them.
But why are they interested in what...
There's been a...
Mr. Shepherd?
Yes?
I'm Inspector Thomas Tedman, D Division, Metropolitan Police.
Yes, sir.
Earlier this morning, we spoke to the night watch on Suffolk Street. He said you were making inquiries yesterday about a Michael Tovey.
Did he?
There was a burglary here during the early hours of this morning, during which Lord William Beverley was murdered.
What?
We believe Mr. Tovey was involved, and we'd appreciate any help you could give us. We've set up headquarters in the drawing room, if you'd be so kind. His lordship's throat was slit with a cutthroat razor. All the silver's been taken, from what I can make out, and a deal of jewellery. The valet, a man called Ablus, is getting out a full list of what's missing. Oh, please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
We've established the time of murder at between 1:30 and 2 o'clock this morning. But what?
Well, nothing. I'm sorry. Such a shock.
So, Mr. Shepherd, Michael Tovey used to work here. Well, what else do you know about him?
Only that he's missing and I can't find him nowhere.
What about his young lady, Catherine Hockley?
Oh, well, he wrote to her, asked her to join him 2 months back. She gets here, and he's gone.
2 months? That must have been as soon as he was released from prison.
Prison?
Newgate. Didn't you know?
Why didn't you tell me?
I don't...
What? I can't hear you, Catherine.
I was ashamed that you should know.
Sometimes there's much to be ashamed of in lying as going to prison, I think.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hide anything.
But you did. When you first came here, and I first saw you in Seven Dials, you thought there was a fire. So much smoke, you said, remember?
Yes.
And I told you it was a fog. A London particular. Now, to me, my job is like finding my way through a London particular. Picking a way through the mire till I get to the truth. And that's what I'm trying to do for you. Even if it means me working along with the peelers. Now, if I'm prepared to do that, then you've got to help me. And you can start by telling the truth. About everything. So what was your Michael in prison for?
He was in debt. He stole some money from the gaming house where he was working. That's all I know. They caught him before he'd hardly got into the street.
Nobody else working with him?
No. He did that, but he wouldn't kill anyone. And he didn't. What about the valet?
Ablus. We're talking to him this afternoon.
You said this morning that Michael Tovey was responsible for Lord William Beverley's death?
I could think of no other.
When did you first meet Mr. Tovey?
6 weeks since, through an acquaintance. A year ago, after the death of her ladyship, Lord William cut back on all his staff. Did no entertaining. Then he sort of began to look lively again. And it became too much for me to run the house as butler and valet for him, so I was looking out for someone.
And Michael was to take over your duties as butler?
No, as valet. He was to have a trial employ of 4 weeks. He joined his lordship and myself at Hatfield, hoping that he and his young lady would be taken into service. Anyway, a gold locket belonging to his lordship disappeared. It was one he always carried with him, being as it contained a lock of his late wife's hair. And he accused Michael of stealing it, even though he couldn't prove it. The next thing, to have a fearful shindy. Well, Michael went to strike his lordship, and he was dismissed. Hasn't been here since.
Unless he came back last night?
Yes.
Is there anything you'd like to ask, Mr. Shepherd?
Yes. Mr. Ablus, do you know where Mr. Tovey is?
Well, he was sleeping in an old warehouse, place for vagrants, off the Ratcliffe Highway, but he's there no longer. A message came from him, and I went to give it to him, but he'd moved on.
Do you know who it was from or what it said?
No.
Well, Peter, Mr. Ablas, was in a very bad mood. He was upset by the dinner party his lordship was given on the Friday. Now, that I couldn't understand at all, because he was always one for the big do's. Show off. He loved it, but it really seemed to upset him.
Yes. Mrs. Dutton, did he have something else planned that night?
Not that I know of. He was really agitated, and he said it was all right for me as I didn't have to clean the silver. Later on, after he'd gone off to deliver the letter to Michael, Polly, that's the kitchen maid, and me couldn't leave it alone. It just seemed so odd.
And you say he opened the letter?
Yes. None of his business, I thought.
We've searched the house from top to bottom, sir. There's no sign of silver or jewellery.
Thank you, Sergeant. Let's find somewhere to eat, Pip.
Oh, right, sir.
And go over everything.
I know just the place. Your ways, Thomas, is different. I can see how you work now. You set up your desk and you run everything from there. It's all up here with you in your head. Whereas we runners get in among it all.
Still piping up, boys.
Thank you, Robert.
Pip tells me Mrs. Vermalo's pies are the best in London.
Oh, not far short, sir. Oh, not far short.
Now, you see what it is, Thomas. Us runners, we know our ways around. And it's nothing you can't tell me about dolly shops and kitchen housing, dress lodges and all. Robert, excuse me, Thomas. Knives and forks, Sarah. Now, you don't get that for a guinea a week. Not that kind of knowledge. It's a lifetime. It's how I was brought up, you see. Blimey, I know who's the villains and who's just hard up. The onces, the ones who buy the stolen silver, the ones who buy the squares and such. And they all know Pip Shepherd.
Here we are, Pip. Sorry about that. But how he expects you to eat without a knife and fork?
That's all right, Sarah.
Knife and fork?
You only have to ask. Peelers, tops most of them, just like you. You don't want to know us, runners. Or you don't, do you?
I didn't say that.
Yeah, because you think you have to be above all that. If you knew some of the things I've done to solve crimes, you'd have me arrested.
No.
Yes, you would. And then they ask us to join the Peelers? Don't know any other way to work than the way I do.
Pip, if
what?
If your night watchman's right...
Oh, yeah, Sam. Yeah, well, he is, isn't he?
And nobody entered the house that night?
Yes, I'm with you.
Well, that's it.
What?
Well, that's why Ablus was so upset about the dinner party. You see, there couldn't be a dinner party.
Why not?
Because there were no knives and forks. There was no silver. It had already gone. The plate, the cutlery, everything.
Ablus knew that it had gone?
Ablus said his lordship hadn't entertained for months.
So Ablus...
Or Michael Tovey, or both, cleared out the silver bit by bit while Michael was still working there. But before they could finish their plan, the dinner party came up. Somehow his lordship was killed and Ablus
tried to throw the blame onto Michael.
But where is Michael? And where is the silver?
Well then, that's the question, isn't it? Catherine, I've got to tell the Peelers about the room at Dolly's. Keep a look out on the house. Wait to see him the next time he turns up.
I see.
We've got to find him. Will you let me tell him?
You promised.
I know.
Well then.
That's why I'm asking you. You see, Thomas, I made a promise to somebody. And because of that promise, I've been keeping something back from you. There's a room in a house on Jacob's Island. Folly Ditch.
You never said you was a runner. Mind you, I trust you before I trust a peeler.
Mrs. Jenks, does everything in here belong to Mr. Tovey?
True as I'm here.
Open the chest, will you, Dolly? We want to see what's in it.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I can't do that, Pep.
Not unless he has a magistrate or some such here. I knows the law. That's private property. Besides, I've got no key.
I'll see to it.
We can't break it open.
No, you can't. Who'd mend it? And who'd be here when he finds out?
I've got keys, Thomas.
I shall go back to the parlour. Have a drop of something short.
You'll stay here, Mrs. Jenks.
Oh.
Go ahead, Pip. Now, let's see what Mr. Toby's been up to.
The silver. And the jewellery.
I knows nothing.
You still say Toby's innocent, Pip?
I knows nothing. I swear I knows nothing about it. I would have owned it. I never did. I swear it. Oh, Lord.
It's all right, Dolly. Come on. You've got to come along with us. Help me and the inspector out with a few questions.
Please, sir.
Yes?
Please, sir. Are you Mr. Peter Ablas?
Who is it wants to know?
My name is Catherine Hockley, sir, and I believe you are acquainted with the man I hope to marry, Mr. Michael Tovey. Are you Mr. Ablas?
Yes, indeed.
You see, I have come down from Yorkshire to be with him, but a letter I sent never reached him, and I want him to know where I am, that he can come to me. I understand he worked with you.
No longer.
I called in at the big house 2 days ago, but you were not in.
Ah, that was you then, was it?
It was.
So you're Catherine?
Catherine Hockley.
The girl he spoke of?
I would have called today, but there are so many people. Police. And I learned what time you walk the dogs from the day watch.
What makes you think I can get in touch with Michael?
I've been to Folly Ditch.
Oh. Dolly, by God.
No. It was Ethel told me.
Ethel? And who have you told?
None.
No matter. Where can Michael find you? Give me the place.
I am staying at the Hotel Dieppe, 7 Dials. Tell him the same room that he had, and I must see him. Say I know what dreadful trouble he's in and I can help. Please, sir. And if you would tell no one.
Of course, Miss Catherine. And I will expect you to do the same. The Hotel Dieppe, the same room that he had. I'll tell him. Here, boys. Come on, boys. Come on.
I know she was cracking, but she was the best friend I ever had. Do anything for me, Ethel would. Anything. He'd cost me Ethel. And Belle. She never come back. Run off with a green silk. Prettiest girl I had was Belle. And her a virgin. It makes no difference.
Why do you think it was Mr. Tovey?
I don't think, Pet, I know. I sent him a letter. After your visit with your lady friend, I warned him that Ethel had let slip how you could find him. Through the Suffolk Street butler. Friends they was. I'll give him me word of honour, you see. Not to tell no one. Tuppence for a stationer. My God, to have that thumbs back and no letter sent. He come to see me that night. Asked where Ethel was. Had to see her. I told him she'd taken Belt to Paddy's goose. And that's the last I've seen of any of them.
And that's everything you know?
I swear to God, I ain't lying neither. It's the truth.
How long has Mr. Tovey had his room with you?
6 weeks, thereabouts. Never used it much, not till recent. Just threw everything in, all higgledy-piggledy like. Never seemed to bother much about it.
Most of it was brought over from 7 Dials by the carter.
Carter? What Carter? I don't know where they was brought from, but it was Michael picked them up himself.
Michael? Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure I had the cart for him.
But the carter brought them back?
I wasn't at home. It was Ethel helped him unload. She never said anything to me who it was brought the cart back, but I don't see why it shouldn't have been Michael. Him as took it, brought it back. That's what I thought. Who's this, that stuff?
Yes?
What else have you been up to then?
I just come back from Folly Ditch, sir. We put a seal on the room and left a guard there.
Good. See Mrs. Jenks home, will you?
Sir.
Home.
We shan't be needing her anymore.
Folly Ditch.
Pip, anything else?
No. You can go, Dolly.
Yeah. Have a drop of something short. Keep jolly despite the shit life throws at you.
Robert Vermelo said it was a carter. Dolly says it was Michael Tovey. So, who was it?
Well, if we're to believe them both, Michael left Folly Ditch with a cart, and somewhere between there and the Hotel de Dieppe, he handed the cart over to somebody else, who picked up his things for him. Then, on the way back, Michael took over again. Why? It doesn't make sense.
No. Whoever loaded up the cart took it back to Folly Ditch. Vermelo told Catherine that he paid a day watch to follow it all the way there. If it had changed hands, he'd have said so. Whoever took the cart from Folly Ditch must be the same person as loaded it up and took it back.
And Dolly says it was Michael.
But it couldn't have been. Could it?
No. Unless Dolly only thought it was Michael.
But she knew him.
Yes, but supposing the person she knew as Michael wasn't him. Supposing all along someone had been using Michael's name. Had rented the room in Michael's name, which is why he never needed to stay there.
He lived somewhere else.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Isn't it?
But then where's the real Michael? The last time anyone saw him was...
Come on, Pip.
Where are we going?
Suffolk Street.
He said he was feeling poorly, going to lie down in his room and not to be disturbed. I said, yes. Well, we're all feeling poorly.
When was this?
An hour or so ago.
Window's open, Thomas. He's gone.
If you're going to help Catherine do it properly. That sauce will never be light if you keep beating it in different directions. Do it clockwise.
One pie. You ready?
Yes, Sarah.
They're nearly done.
Yeah, I'm sure I've just seen that Carter out in the bar.
Who? What Carter?
The one that picked up Michael's things.
Are you sure?
As day is day.
Show me. I'm sorry, Sarah.
He was in the corner, by the fireplace. Yeah, Toby.
What?
The young man who was standing here. Did you see where he went?
No, but he didn't leave by the street door.
Oh, he'd just gone to the privy, you see.
Or out the back way into the lane.
Is that all Mr. Vermelo's not seeing too bright?
Hey, here.
Now then. Keys. Which one, my beauty? Juju. There we are then.
I'm off. See what's happening in the bar.
I've nearly finished. Then I'll go upstairs.
Pip's just come in. Why don't you go through and see him?
I'm not sure he'll want me to.
So Goddard says they're thinking of starting up a detective division.
Oh, the peelers.
Yeah, and they're going to recruit 12 from us, Bow Street runners, and put us with their inspectors.
Oh, good.
Like, you're not listening. No uniforms, and we can do our own commissions.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
Look, why don't you go through and see her?
I don't really know whether she wants me to.
Go on. What's the harm?
Oh, Michael, where are you?
Come on.
Go on, Pip. She's very upset. I'll let you go up just this once, seeing how fond I am of you both.
I don't know.
Go on. 10 minutes, mind.
Who's there? Michael? Oh, Michael, is that...
Catherine.
Get Toby! Now! Now! Hey!
You, the prisoner at the bar, Peter Ablas, have been indicted for robbery and the murders of Lord William Beverley and Ethel Proud. Nothing now remains but that sentence be passed according to the law. And the sentence of the law is this: you shall be taken from the place where you are and be carried to the place from whence you came, and from thence to the place of execution.
He's written a full confession,
and there...
but he said nothing about what's happened to Michael. I'm sorry, Catherine. Nothing at all. I'll try once more to see him. Mr. Ablas.
You asked to see me?
I did. To plead, sir. Not on my own behalf, but that of a young woman concerning the young gentleman Michael Tovey. Would you be so good and merciful as to tell me where he is?
Michael Tovey. Is he alive or is he dead? Eh? I have said all there is to say. There is nothing more, other than what shall be known to me and my Maker.
Why do you torment her like this?
It will keep me alive in her mind, and in your mind, if in nobody else's.
Sometimes you just have to carry on hurting, because there's no way out, and there's nothing anyone can do about it.
Oh, Pip.
It's life, Catherine, just as it sometimes is, just as it most times is. You don't know one way or the other, so you have to tell yourself to forget and start afresh.
So what do I do?
You have to think he's dead, Catherine. That way you give yourself at least half a chance of living. New doors will open.
I can't.
Then you have to wait. But it's been 3 months now, and like I said, even a day is a long time. Waiting. Don't wait. Let me look after you, Catherine. There's Alfred, I know. But please let me. Don't go back.
I shan't go back home. Not to Whitby. I'll make my home here.
You will?
I'll wait for Michael. If forever. Please. Go now, Pip.
Yes. Of course, whatever you say.
Friends, Pip. Aren't we?
Friends? Oh, yes.
Pip! Come in.
Thomas?
Sit down.
No, it's all right, thank you.
Something you have to tell me?
Yes, Tom. If you were still looking for an ex-runner to work with, and if you had an eye to the detective division, I'd like us to apply.
In The Last of the Bow Street Runners by John Peacock, Pip Shepherd was played by Todd Carty and Thomas Tedman by Charles Simpson. Deborah Berlin was Catherine Hockley, Maggie McCarthy, Dolly Jenks, Tessa Worsley, Sarah Vermillow, Johan Meredith, Robert Vermillow, Stephen Critchlow, Peter Ablas, Zulema Dean, Ethel, and Harry Myers, Toby. Other parts were played by members of the cast. London Particulars is directed by David Blount.